everybody, I'm Sarah with athriftymom.com. We're trying for round 2. Hopefully our connection is better this time. But we are making creamy cilantro ranch dressing. And I am making that because I have slow pork tacos in my crock pot, sweet pork tacos. And my little brother just had his baby. That's their number 7 for them. A little crazy, yes I know, but 7. And so I am making them dinner tonight. This is a great recipe to feed a large group. And this creamy cilantro ranch dressing definitely is a must when making sweet pork tacos. So I figured I would show you guys how to make it. I actually have 2 different versions of this on my blog. The version that I shared like 4 or 5 years ago uses canned salsa verde, which we found that one's really good, but yet it quite often would get bitter. And so we decided that we liked this one better, so I thought I would share the one we like better with you guys. So what you need is you need 1 cup of mayonnaise, and as you can tell, I am not one for measuring exact. I've been cooking long enough that I can eyeball things pretty good. So we're gonna add a cup of, hi Danielle, haven't seen you for a while, hopefully you're feeling good. A cup of sour cream, and the recipe is via that link. I'll have my husband leave that link again for you real quick. Matt, are you online in there?
Getting there.
Okay, and then we're gonna add a cup of mayonnaise. Now if you wanted to make a healthier version of this, you guys could always substitute your Greek yogurt or other things like that, but this is just the way that we make it. Okay, so then we got our cup of mayonnaise, our cup of sour cream, and then we're gonna do a teaspoon of garlic. If you have fresh garlic, I would suggest that you use that. So it's a half a teaspoon of garlic. You can use fresh garlic. You can use the stuff that comes in the fridge. But I actually don't have any garlic on me right now, so we're just using our garlic powder. Next, we're going to use 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. Oops, I forgot my lime. Let me grab one of those real quick for you. So, if you don't have fresh lime juice, you can use the stuff that comes in the little squeezy tube. Hi, Matt, Danielle says. Okay, so I am rolling my lime, and that just makes it easier to squeeze the juice out of it once it comes. So, I don't know if you guys knew that, but if you go ahead and roll your limes, it makes them a lot easier to get the juice out of. So if you don't have a fresh lime, you can use the stuff that comes in the bottle. And it's about 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. So here you go. Here's some lime juice. So my kids would literally eat this dressing on just about anything. But we tend to make it when we're eating pork tacos or we're eating taco salad. Those would be the 2 main things that we make it for. Sometimes I'll make it if we're doing like a Mexican salad or something like that. But honestly, it's good enough that you can just eat it with like chips as a dip. Okay, so there's our lime juice. And then I need a tablespoon of white wine vinegar. If you don't have white wine vinegar, you can just use basically any vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, rice wine vinegar, any of those options work. Next we need a jalapeno. This is a really big jalapeno, so I'm just going to use 1. And then if you want your dressing a little hotter, you can definitely use a couple of them. But I found for my family's preference, they just like 1. And if you microwave it too, you can get more juice out too. Yes, great tip, Danielle. She's talking about the lime. Okay, so I cut the stem off, and then I'm cutting down the middle, and I'm actually going to get a plastic bag. I've made the mistake before of just taking my thumb and scooping that out, and a lot of times you can get away with that. But if you get a hot one, you will actually burn yourself. Sometimes with the ribs and the seeds. So I found it's just easier just to put a bag on my hand and scrape it out with my finger. And then I don't have to worry about burning myself with the juice. And it's a really weird place to burn yourself when you get that really hot juice underneath your fingernail. And that skin underneath your fingernail is pretty tender, and it's pretty sensitive. Okay, so as you can see in my bag, I've just taken out the ribs and the seeds. Sorry if it didn't make sense and my screen shattered when it went out in the heat. So my typos. Nope, I totally know what you meant. Good idea with the baggie. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, so I just use that with a baggie, and then I just turn it inside out, and then all the hot stuff's in there. That way the kids, if they happen to get in the trash or something, they're not gonna touch those hot things either. Okay, and then sometimes these can get a little tricky in the blender. They'll sometimes gum it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna cut these into smaller sections. That way my blender doesn't, sometimes if you leave them whole, they just don't blend quite as well. So into the blender goes our jalapenos. Like I said, if you want to make it hotter, go ahead and do that. A tablespoon of sugar. If you are very counting your calories, you can leave this out, but the sweetness does definitely add a flavor profile that makes this dressing really good. Okay, and then we need 3 tablespoons of milk. 1, 2, 3. And this is just to loosen this up a little bit, and as it sets, you're going to sorry, here it is. It's going to thicken up a lot, and so you'll want to make sure that once you get it out, if it's a little too hot, thick, you can just thin it down with a little bit of milk. So now we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of ranch powder, or it's basically the equivalent to 1 ranch packet. But since we like ranch at our house, we tend to buy it in the big container at Costco like that. Okay, and then we're gonna season with pepper and some salt. And then we're going to add our cilantro. Now here's our bunch of cilantro. I'm actually just gonna cut the upper half. Sometimes these stems get a little bitter, so we're just gonna use the top half. I've already washed these and dried them. You wanna make sure you always wash cilantro because quite often it has mud in there just because they've got it from the field. So there's our cup of cilantro. All right. So we have all of our ingredients in here. So we're just gonna put the lid on our blender, and we are going to blend it up. You guys can see that on the side. And the more it blends, it turns green. If you want it a little chunkier, you can stop it earlier. Okay, so Lisa asked if you to cut down on the fat and calories, if you can use Greek yogurt and avocado. Absolutely, those are actually 2 really good substitutions. Instead of using the mayonnaise and sour cream, you just use an avocado and Greek yogurt, and it absolutely works. It does have a little bit different flavor, but it's a very good flavor, and yes, I have done that before. Okay. So there is our dressing. You see how smooth and creamy it is? I will go around the edges a little bit just to make sure I haven't missed anything. At this point, it's like I said, it's just a good thick consistency, but as it sits in the fridge, it's gonna get even thicker. And if you get it out and you find that it's more like dip, all you gotta do is add a little bit of milk to thin it down. If you keep it covered and store it in the fridge, it will stay good for about a week. But it normally does not last that long at our house. So, Sarah, yes, thank you for answering that question for me. All right, guys, if you want this recipe, please feel free to pin it or share it. And we will upload this video to the blog post. That way you guys can find it there too. Thanks for watching, and we will chat with you later. Bye.